are you today? I am outside from Starbucks and I wanted to get out on this beautiful day. Today is February 7th and I cannot believe how beautiful it is out here. Today's my grandson's birthday and I spent a lot of the day doing so much and, you know, getting things out so I can send out products and all kinds of stuff like that. And I wanted to make sure I got you a video. So this one will probably not be edited, so just bear with me if there's any imperfections, if you see any honey on my skin or anything from all the product making and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, somebody might come out here and give me my drink. Hopefully my son will realize that he needs to come out and give me my drink. But anyway, and I'll show you what I drink from Starbucks. Anyway, thank you so much for subscribing for any of my new subscribers, and thank you so much for all my lovelies that have been such a great support, and thank you for all of you who are purchasing the product and telling me how you're loving it. The hair looks a little shorter today because it's more shrunken, because I actually moisturized it a lot last night. It was so moisturized and now it's dry, and I tried to blow it out with my fan to make it stretched a little bit. This is what I got. So you know how I am. I did minimal manipulating, and then I just let it do what it wants to do for the day and start all over again tomorrow, right? And I set it overnight. Anyway, what I'm here to tell you is some of the things that they don't tell you on YouTube, we don't tell you on YouTube, and you have to find out on your own about your journey. So if you're a new natural, then you need to be listening. And if you are a natural that's been doing this for a little bit, but you haven't had a setback yet, this could help you to prevent having a setback, okay? So these are the things that I wish I had known, but there's no other way to know but to go through it yourself, or to at least listen to someone like me that can help in any way that you can. All right, so the first thing that I want to tell you about your hair is that you don't know your hair. The music might be a little loud, so I hope you can hear me. First of all, you don't know your hair if you've been having it in a weave or perm for most of your life. So how in the world would you even know your hair to know some of the things that are said on YouTube for you to do? And that was me, for example. So I've had my hair in a weave since I was 15, and y'all know I'm over 40, so I'm not going to tell you how much over. Anyway, but that's a long time. And I just took the weave out, decided that I was going to do it for forever. And I think it was 2014. And then I had a setback in 2015. And it kind of just started, the mark started on my wedding day on 2015 in November. Okay, so that's when kind of the healthy journey started, because I lost the hair before that because I dyed it. So that was a setback right there. Okay, so since then, in May of 2016, I believe it's 16, that's when I got delivered. But the year between 2015 to 2016, I ended up looking into YouTube, trying to figure out how to do this and listening to all the things, trying to be natural and all that. And then as soon as I was so proud of myself to take off my weave, then I see videos saying, okay, winter time's here, it's time to protect your hair. That means put the weave back in. And I believe on the psychological side of wearing weaves, and I'm going to do a whole video on what I believe it can do to you. It's just like alcoholism or anything else. You can get addicted to it and never know who you really are, and just fight through all of your stuff so that you can know your hair and be happy with your hair. So that's what I've been kind of doing, setting out to do when I took the weave out. That's what I set out to do. I'm either going to go all the way wearing the weave all the time. It's going to seem like it's my real hair, which is what I did, or I'm going to take it off and I want people to get used to my natural hair, and that's what I did. But I did wear a weave very close to this hair, my natural hair, for about 6 months in 2015 to 16 in that winter, and then I took it out, and it helped me get past the TWA, by the way, teeny weeny afro. So I hope you can hear me. There is music in the background, but anyway, so because of that, because of the journey of all of us just getting natural, just since what, 2009, I'm not sure when it started. Let's just think about that for a second. We don't know our hair. So many people grew up doing the hair. Their mothers might have done it when they were little, but then they grew up, they went to college and did it, and then they've always known their hair. We don't know it. We don't know what our hair is like. After having children, it could have changed. After having children, it could have changed. So if you don't know your hair, and you have not known your hair, and now when you take out the weave or you get the perm out of your hair, it may not even be healthy. It may not even be your hair, is what I've been trying to say. So you need to go through a stage of getting to know your hair in its natural, healthy state. Well, if you're starting in an unhealthy place, like if you're starting after wearing weaves most of your life, then your hair's probably dried out, and it's probably not even your hair. You think that's your texture, you think that's the way your hair looks, and it's not. You need to go through a stage, and I call that the first phase, like the 3 months or so, where you're hydrating it, and you're taking very good care of it and trimming it and getting the ends out. If it was a perm, you're cutting that off. Whatever you're doing to get your hair at the healthiest state, that's the first phase. That's the first thing you need to do, is to get it healthy. And then after you get it healthy through hydrating and getting healthy, then while you're doing that, eventually you're going to do a strand test and find out what porosity level you are. You need to learn your hair. And you haven't been knowing it for long, so how could you know how to take this kind of advice? Do what your hair likes, cut it when it's time, all these things. How do you know that when you don't know your hair? If it doesn't like it, stop, all this stuff. I didn't even know what that looks like. Oh, you need to cut the split ends, you need to this, you need that. And I'm just like, okay, I don't even know what my hair looks like when it's healthy. How do I know when it looks like when it's not healthy? How do I know when it doesn't like something? Do you see what I'm saying? So this video is to help you understand how to take that advice and when you're ready to take that advice, okay? So this is the thing. This is the stuff that's beyond what you can do on YouTube. So you can look at a channel, like the product, like the way it looks on somebody else's hair, like the outcome that it made, but you don't know if it's going to do the same on your hair. You don't know what it's going to do with your hair because you don't even know your hair yourself. So the first step is getting to know your hair, okay? And so once you got to know your hair, what that means, just to make that clear, the hows, or what I'm here to tell you, is doing the hydration method. You want to go into that. Some people are saying, oh, I don't do this anymore. Of course you don't, because your hair is probably hydrated. It's supposed to be to me, I use it for a phase in my journey. And the phase is you do it until your hair is fully moisturized from root to tip, right? And so once that's the case, then you can, let me just tell my son, because I'm just not going to stop the video. I'm going to tell him to give you my drink. He should have known to give it to me, right? Let me text him and see if he gets it. So anyway, can you get my drink? Oh, he's a sweetheart. Looking at me, already knew to get it. You're on camera. Come over here and say hi to my lovelies. Look at my wonderful son. Say hi. He knew to get my drink. He's such a gentleman. So what I get, y'all, is a black tea lemonade, a venti black tea lemonade, and I usually get 7 honeys dissolved in hot water, a little hot water. Today they didn't have it, so I had to get the liquid cane sugar. I don't usually like that. I love honey. Not only do I use honey in my hair, but I also use it. I drank it. I just love honey. So let me just make sure this is made the way I like it. But anyway, so after you've done your first phase, not bad. Very good. Being out in the sun, having my tea. Oh my gosh. Spring is right around the corner. I can't wait. Anyway, so once you've hydrated your hair and you got it from the first phase, then within that first phase, you're journaling and you're learning your hair. When you start knowing what your porosity level is, you're going to know more and more on how to do it. You're going to be doing trial and error that first phase, okay? You're going to learn how to get the moisture in your hair, and you'll be learning your porosity level. That's the first phase. The second phase is when you decide yourself, based on learning your hair, you're going to be like, oh, I think I know my hair now. That means you know what it looks like when it has elasticity. You know what happens. You need to know what your hair looks like when it has its full elasticity. When you know that, then you'll know when something's wrong with it, okay? You also need to know what it looks like, what split ends look like at the ends of your hair. So you can go on YouTube and see what that looks like, but you got to see that. You need to know what single strand knots are as well, so that you know how to do that. You need to know what dusting is, and you need to know what trimming is, and what trimming is for you. Because if we're growing our hair, the average person grows a half an inch a month. That's a given. You don't know how fast your hair grows yet, right? So if you dyed your hair, this is a good way to see it. If you get grays, this is a good way to see it. And if you're measuring it, and if you're journaling. So this is a way to learn about how fast your hair grows. So you're learning a lot the first phase. Second phase, you're still learning, but now you can start locking into a certain routine that you see works. You did a lot of trial and error first phase, right? That means the first 3 months. Next 3 months, you're like, okay, this is working, this is not working. And how do I know it's working? You know it's working because now you know what your hair looks like when it's healthy. It's healthy when it has elasticity, okay? When it has elasticity, it has shine, and it is actually flourishing, meaning you seeing growth. That's how you know it's actually working. So that's how you know the flip, which is what's not working. So on the second phase, which would be the next 3 months, you're going to continue with this hydration, but now you're going to create a solid routine for whatever season you're in, That's the tricky part. As soon as you get a routine, it could be spring, summer, fall. Then winter starts slapping us by. The winter starts coming, and then you got to change your whole routine for the winter. So just remember, whatever you lock in for your routine, pay attention to what the season is, because it will change when the seasons change. If you're in a place now, this is another thing. You hear a lot of things on YouTube where like, don't do this, don't do that, I don't do this, do protective styling and all that. If you're in Florida, you probably don't have to worry about protective styling as much as somebody who's in New York. There was somebody who I knew that said that they don't like coconut oil. And she's like, wow, when I moved to Arizona, I couldn't use coconut oil. So you see, these things matter. So you need to be taking inventory on a lot of things and making sure you know, and to ask questions to any YouTuber saying, where do you live? Is it cold where you are? How long is your winter? Things like that. Like right now, I don't have to worry so much about protective styling because look at the weather today. So I actually slacked a little bit on putting too much of my honey in my hair this week, and I got away with it because it was very moist and the temperature was great. So these are the things that you need to take in consideration. You can't just blanket and just say, oh, we got to do this. Oh, we have to do this. I'm not editing this video, y'all. Okay. Anyway, so keep that in mind. The other thing is, the first thing is you need to know your hair and go through the first phase. Then you need to be journaling. You need to know your length. Keep up with the length. Start seeing how fast you grow. This all takes the first full year. You need the full first year to know all this. Now, this is the part that's very frustrating for me. This was very, very frustrating for me. These are the things you're going to need to know so that you can prevent having any kind of setback. I went all natural with my hairs as much as I could. And my thought was, okay, it's natural. I can use it as much as I want if it's natural, right? It can't go bad. So I use henna. I haven't had much of an issue with the henna. Coconut oil, I thought, oh, please, there's nothing wrong with coconut oil. Then I started noticing my hair was feeling weird. I was like, wait a minute. But the thing is, I didn't know what feeling weird was until I got to know my hair. And even when it did feel weird, I ignored it because I still didn't know my hair. Do you get it? So then when they started talking about it more, and then I started realizing my hair, then I was like, oh, that's that feeling. It's not shrinking in. My hair wasn't shrinking as much. And the henna does it too the first day, but then it goes away. Then I started noticing the importance of the balance of protein and moisture, okay? And protein can come in natural ways, or there can be natural protein activants, I guess, or something that they're bonds that help the protein in your hair that are not protein themselves. And those things can also be damaging if your hair can't take too much protein. So as you know your hair, your low porosity, there are things that come with low porosity. And one of the things is being protein sensitive. I assumed I would be, so I stayed away from coconut oil, and I didn't overdo the henna. I did the henna blends, and I didn't always do the straight henna very much because I just assumed I must be. What if I am? So I didn't want to take any chances, right? I pulled off with the baking soda, and I said I do it sometimes. I haven't really done it at all, basically, for a very long time. So it might be a once a year thing if I ever do it again, right? To clean the scalp and everything. So I learned about that. And so now we're going to rice water. So rice water, I went into a whole video talking about it, but I thought that was a natural thing that, oh, you can take as much as you want. I had no idea that rice water somehow bonds the proteins in your hair also. That's one of the major things it does. And I was doing it, I think, every day or something. And that ended up giving me a setback along with what I was already taking. And what you don't also realize is that so this whole little part of what I'm talking about has to do with protein and how once you learn your hair, if you're protein sensitive, these are things you need to be careful with, okay? This is just protein, but there's other things you can be looking for. But protein overload can really give you a true setback, which it did for me. And it wasn't even product, it was all natural stuff. And it was just like my routine where I couldn't put the moisture in my hair, as you know. So after that, I tried to get other things in my hair and everything. I had tried to use my regular regimen. I had added the rice water with my Ayurveda practices and everything. And I noticed that it looked really good, but it didn't have elasticity. But because this was my first year and I still didn't understand my hair, and I just assumed, oh, it's because I'm stretching my hair out a lot. I don't know. I didn't know that was a setback. The sad part about setbacks is you only know that they're a setback after it has set you back. So I'm here to let you know that you can catch a setback earlier than it already setting you back if you see some certain signs. If you know your hair, if you've given yourself a chance to go through the steps and you've gotten your regimen and you begin to not see certain things. So I knew it was a setback because I had to cut the ends off. It was starting, it had literally fallen out. I had to start cutting hair out. And I was like, oh my goodness, denial was over. My husband said it's starting to lose steam, as you saw in my other video. And so it was, that's why I couldn't say anything on YouTube, because I didn't even know myself. I was in denial. And it looked good to me. It didn't feel good, but it looked good. But I didn't know that that feel was what you're looking for when something's wrong. And that's what I'm here to tell you. So after my setback, now I know to tell you, your hair needs to get to its healthiest state, and you need to know what that is. You need to know your hair. Do not keep that weave in there, and do not perm it, and do not blow dry it. Don't do anything to alter the natural state of it, so you know your hair. That's phase 2. Now you know your hair. Now you're loving it. It may not be as long as you want. It may be TWA, whatever. Work with it. Do very minimal manipulation. What I do is I set my hair overnight, and then it gives me the style that I had the next day. I learned it from my daughter, believe it or not, and I remembered it from growing up. Set it the best you can at night and work with it the next day. And if it doesn't come out the way you want, just do as best as you can with very low manipulation until you get the next day, until you can get the style you want. That's what you do. Phase 2. You're starting to just work with your hair, working with styling. One other tip. Having a nice shape means a lot to your psyche. It helps you with your journey. It makes you feel good. You might have to sacrifice a few inches in certain areas, or maybe not even inches, just a few centimeters, just to get a nice style so that you can cope with that stage until you can get your hair to the next level. So that's another tip. Okay, so once you know your hair, phase 2, the third, you're in the next set of 3 months. Now you know your hair. Now you're learning it. You know it. You're journaling it. You're starting to predict things. Now you got a handle on it. Now you're going to go into the next phase. And now you can decide, well, I don't have to do as much now as I did the first phase. I can take this out, and leave this in. You may end up having a little setback and learn that you can. Whatever it is, that's when you're supposed to learn it. Okay? Now you're starting to get into the half of the year, and you're on a roll here. Keep going and don't stop. You might be in a different season, and now you got to learn a whole new regimen for that season. Learn it as though it's the second phase again. Okay, so you went through the first phase, you know your hair is healthy, but how do I keep it healthy in this season? So now you're in that second half of the year where it could be winter, and you started your regimen in summer, or it's summer and you started in the winter. You have to switch some products, whatever the case is. Now do that for another 6 months, and there you get your first year. You might go away like I did. You need to know your regimen in every scenario. If you're in another person's season, so in other words, if your season is like this, but you are going to another person's country or where they live, then people start to talk louder. Then you got to switch up your regimen. Does that make sense? So your first year is just learning, and sticking with what works. And you only know what works. This is how you know. You know what works if you are getting elasticity. If you are still getting elasticity when you have no product on your hair, you get elasticity. Then your hair is doing fine. That means you've washed everything off and your hair is doing okay. With the product in, you have some level of elasticity. Now, if you stretch your hair out, you're not going to have as much of that stretch. But when you wash everything out, your hair should have elasticity. At the ends, you know what a split. If you don't know what a split end looks like, then find out. Trim them off. You'll know when it's time to get a trim when you're having a difficult time combing through your hair with either your fingers or whatever. And you need to be dusting the single strand knots because that will bring more problems. So what are they? I told you in the last video that when you pull through it and you feel like a little tiny knot, that's a single strand knot, and you should be trimming them little pieces whenever possible. You don't want to cut too much because remember, if a hair grows a half an inch a month, you don't want to be cutting a half an inch a month as well. So you just want to really cut lightly. And what I'm going to be doing is cutting so lightly that I never ever have to worry about trimming so big. So my trim is going to be so minute, So these are some big things for you to watch out for. And you need to be doing all the other things that I'll link in a video. I'm not going to link any videos today because I'm not going to edit anything. But if I later on want to, it'll be in the description if there's anything I do decide to link. But go into my playlist on my hair journey so you can see all of my videos. But these are the things that I want you to be thinking about when you are new in your journey, or if you're in the first year, or if you're just like thinking you got it and then something's changing. These are things to keep you from getting a setback, okay? And so if you couldn't hear me and you need me to elaborate on this in another video when I'm not vlogging and hanging out at Starbucks, let me know. But this is the tea on how to do the things everyone's telling us to do on YouTube, the stuff they're not telling you. Okay, so if I could think of anything else, I'll definitely just put it in the description or in the comments. But if you have any more questions about anything, or if you have any questions based on whatever level you are in your journey, just put the comments below. And if you want to know what products I use when I work, I make my own products except for a few. It's on AyurvedaCurls.com. Thank you for those who are purchasing. And if you want to purchase, just go to AyurvedaCurls.com. And it's all natural, so sometimes the honey's lighter, it's darker, or whatever, but it's just wonderful products, and I love it. So, and if you purchase, I have a new batch coming to you probably this weekend. Okay, well, I love you all so much, and I thank you so much for being patient with me, staying to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next video, and I love you, and God bless you. Bye.